Some men seem to have a magnetic pull that defies all the modern dating advice. This appeal is not about tricks or pickup lines. It is about a deep, unshakable character built on strength, virtue, and self-control. What if you could access a proven blueprint to build this exact character within yourself? We are turning to an ancient source of wisdom, Stoic philosophy, and adapting its timeless laws for the modern man. By the end of this, you will have a complete framework of 25 principles to transform not just your dating life, but your entire presence in the world. We will uncover why true resilience is more attractive than any compliment, and how your greatest setbacks can become your most powerful fuel. What is the one quality you believe forms the foundation of genuine confidence? Everything you feel, every reaction you have, begins not in the world around you, but in the private space of your own mind. This is the core of the first and most fundamental Stoic law, the mastery of your perceptions. Stoic philosophy teaches a radical idea. We are not disturbed by events themselves, but by the views we take of them. Think about that for a moment. A woman you are interested in takes a long time to reply to your text. The event is neutral, it is simply a delay, but your judgment about that event is what creates the storm inside you. You might perceive it as a sign of disinterest, a personal rejection, triggering anxiety and neediness. Or you could perceive it as she is simply busy, living her own full life, and you can remain perfectly calm and carry on with your day. The event is identical. Your suffering or your peace is determined entirely by your perception. A man who has mastered this does not take things personally. He understands that another person's behavior is almost always a reflection of their own internal state, their own priorities and struggles, not a final verdict on his worth. He becomes a rock in a turbulent sea, while other men are tossed about by every wave of drama, every perceived slight. He remains unshakably calm. This calm is not indifference. It is profound emotional strength. It signals to everyone, especially to women, that here is a man who cannot be easily manipulated, who is not desperate for validation, and whose inner world is a fortress of self-control. This is incredibly attractive because it is incredibly rare. It communicates that you are a source of stability, not a source of needless drama. Your greatest power, therefore, is your ability to choose your judgment. Before you react, ask yourself, what is another way to see this situation? Is my initial interpretation the only truth, or is it just one possible story I am telling myself? This simple pause, this act of mental discipline, is the first step to building a character that others are naturally drawn to. That unshakable calm we just explored is not built in moments of ease. It is forged in the small, deliberate fires of discomfort. This brings us to the second Stoic law, the practice of voluntary discomfort. The modern world is engineered for your comfort, from endless entertainment in your pocket to food delivered to your door with a single tap. While convenient, this constant comfort has a hidden cost. It makes you soft. It trains you to believe that you deserve a life free from hardship. And when life, as it always does, delivers hardship anyway, you are unprepared. You become needy not just for things, but for a specific, comfortable emotional state. The Stoics proposed a radical antidote. They said you must regularly and intentionally step into discomfort. This is not about punishing yourself. It is a form of training, like lifting weights for your soul. Take a cold shower instead of a warm one. Skip a meal and feel the genuine pangs of hunger. Walk somewhere instead of driving. Each time you do this, you are sending a powerful message to your deepest self. You are proving through action that you can handle difficulty. You are demonstrating that your happiness and stability do not depend on perfect external conditions. A man who does this consistently kills neediness at its root. He no longer clings to a woman for validation because his sense of self-worth is built on his own ability to endure and overcome. He appreciates the simple comforts of life, like a warm bed or a good meal, with a profound gratitude that a man drowning in luxury can never feel. This projects a powerful and attractive vibe. It is the vibe of self-sufficiency and contentment. Women are instinctively drawn to this because it signals a capable provider, a man who will not fall apart when challenges arise. While other men are complaining about a minor inconvenience, you are unfazed. You have already faced down greater discomfort on your own terms. This builds a quiet, magnetic confidence that speaks louder than any words. That self-sufficient man who trains with discomfort carries a profound secret. His strength does not come from controlling the world, but from understanding the precise boundaries of his control. This is the third Stoic law, the dichotomy of control, and it is the ultimate key to unlocking a genuine, outcome-independent confidence. The Stoics divided the entire world into just two categories: things that are within our complete control and things that are not. What falls squarely within your control, your own actions, your opinions, your values, your efforts, your desires to be a good man, everything else, and this is the crucial part, is outside your control. The weather, the traffic, the economy, and most importantly for our discussion, other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. This includes whether a woman you are interested in likes you back, agrees to a date, or replies to your message. Most men spend their entire emotional energy trying to control what they cannot, while neglecting the very things they can. They agonize over crafting the perfect text that will guarantee a response. They change their personality to win approval. They get angry or despondent when their efforts do not yield the desired result. This is the definition of approval-seeking behavior, and it is repulsive because it signals a deep lack of self-worth. Now contrast that with the Stoic man. He focuses all of his power on what is his and his alone. He controls his approach. He is respectful and confident. He controls his intention. He is genuinely interested in getting to know her. He controls his effort. He puts himself out there, and then he completely releases the outcome. Her response is her business. If she says yes, wonderful. If she says no, that is her right and her choice, and it does not alter his own self-perception one bit. He does not need her validation to feel whole. This shift is transformative. It eliminates neediness because your sense of worth is no longer tied to an external result. You become a man who is truly free, not from rejection, but from the fear of it. This projects an aura of solid, unshakable confidence that is magnetic. Women sense a man who is interested but not invested in a specific outcome. He is engaging with her from a place of fullness, not emptiness. He is choosing her, not desperately needing her. This principle turns every social interaction into a win-win. You win because you acted with virtue and integrity, which is entirely within your control. The outcome, whatever it may be, is simply information, not a verdict on your value. Your power was never in making her like you. Your power was always in mastering your own conduct and having the strength to let go of everything else. A man who has mastered his inner world and let go of outcomes now faces his greatest challenge, discovering what to build in the empty space that remains. This is where the fourth Stoic law comes into play, the call to live in accordance with nature. For the Stoics, living according to nature did not mean retreating to the wilderness. It meant living in harmony with your own essential design as a rational and social being. You are built for purpose. You are wired for contribution. A man without a mission is like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly and at the mercy of every current. He looks outward for direction, for someone to give his life meaning, and this neediness is palpable. He might seek a relationship not as a partnership, but as a rescue mission for his own emptiness. Now picture the alternative, a man who has identified his craft, his cause, or his unique contribution. He is consumed by a mission that is larger than his own immediate desires. He wakes up each day with a direction, driven by a passion that comes from within. This is not about having a prestigious job or a flashy title. It is about having a central focus that demands your best effort and engages your highest faculties. It could be building a business, mastering a skill, creating art, or serving your community. The specific form is less important than the sincere engagement itself. This man radiates a powerful and magnetic energy. He is not looking for someone to complete him. He is already complete in his pursuit. A woman senses this immediately. She sees a man who is inspired, not desperate. He becomes a source of inspiration, someone whose life is interesting and compelling. Conversations with him are not interviews. They are explorations of ideas, shared laughter, and genuine connection because he is not trying to extract validation from the interaction. He is sharing the overflow of a life already being lived to the fullest. His purpose acts as a natural filter, attracting those who resonate with his energy and respectfully repelling those who do not. He does not have to chase. His focused, purposeful life creates a gravitational pull. While other men are trying to convince women of their value, this man's value is self-evident in the way he carries himself and spends his time. His mission is his primary relationship, and any romantic partnership becomes a beautiful addition to an already rich and meaningful existence, not the sole reason for it. This is the ultimate expression of living in accordance with your nature, not as a lone wolf, but as a man fully engaged in the human project of creation and contribution. A purposeful life is a fortress, but it is courage that opens the gates and allows you to step into the world. This brings us to the fifth Stoic law: to act with courage, not recklessness. Courage in the Stoic sense is not the absence of fear. It is the judgment that something else is more important than fear. It is the virtue of acting rightly in the face of discomfort, danger, or social pressure. Recklessness, on the other hand, is just fear in disguise, a frantic attempt to prove you are not afraid by doing something stupid. The difference is everything. Having the courage to approach a woman you find interesting is not about a smooth pickup line. It is about the quiet resolve to face the possibility of rejection because your desire for a genuine connection is greater than your fear of a momentary awkwardness. It is acting with respect and clarity, regardless of the outcome. Courage is also found in the quiet moments, in the strength to set a firm boundary with someone who disrespects you, not with anger but with calm conviction. It is the courage to speak your truth in a conversation, even when your voice shakes, because your integrity matters more than universal approval. This noble strength is profoundly compelling. It shows a woman that you are a man of principle, a man who will stand up for what is right for her and for your shared values when real challenges emerge. This is the opposite of the toxic bravado you often see, the loud, aggressive posturing that seeks to dominate and intimidate. That kind of false courage is fragile, shattering at the first sign of real resistance. True courage is quiet and solid. It does not need to announce itself. It is the calm decision to do the difficult thing simply because it is the right thing to do. A man who embodies this does not chase danger, but he does not run from his responsibilities either. He assesses the situation, listens to his principles, and then moves forward despite the fear whispering in his ear. This quality is magnetic because it is the foundation of real protection and trust. It signals that here is a man who can be relied upon when the storm hits, a man whose strength is directed by wisdom, not by ego. Your mission gives you direction, but it is your courage that allows you to walk the path. Courage gives your actions power, but wisdom determines when to speak and when to embrace the profound strength of silence. This is the sixth Stoic law, the practice of the art of silence and listening. In a world that rewards constant noise and relentless self-promotion, the man who can be comfortably quiet stands out. The Stoics believed you should speak only what is necessary and what is true. Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If your words do not pass this threefold test, then the most powerful thing you can do is hold your tongue. This is not about being shy or withdrawn. It is an active, disciplined practice of self-control. Think about the last conversation you had. Were you truly listening to understand the other person, or were you just waiting for your turn to talk, rehearsing your own next clever point? The man who listens more than he speaks communicates immense respect. He is signaling that your thoughts and feelings are important enough for his full, undivided attention. He is not scanning the room over your shoulder. He is not already formulating a rebuttal. He is present. For a woman, being truly heard by a man is an incredibly rare and validating experience. It makes her feel seen, valued, and safe. This alone can set you miles apart from every other man who is trying to impress her with a monologue about his own life. This quiet focus also projects a deep intelligence. You are gathering data, understanding her character, her humor, her worldview. When you do speak, your words carry more weight because they are considered and relevant. You avoid the common pitfalls of saying something foolish, oversharing out of nervousness, or dominating the conversation to feed your own ego. Your silence becomes a canvas upon which her words can paint a picture, and in that space, a genuine connection is built. It demonstrates a security that does not need to constantly prove itself. The need to fill every silence with chatter is often just a mask for insecurity. A man comfortable in his own skin does not need this constant noise. He can share a quiet moment without feeling anxious. He understands that sometimes the most powerful communication happens without a single word being spoken. This creates an aura of mystery and depth that is intensely magnetic. It invites her in, making her want to discover more about the quiet man whose presence feels so solid and reassuring. Your ability to listen, truly listen, might be the most eloquent thing you ever say. Your quiet presence creates space for reality to unfold exactly as it will without your resistance. This acceptance is the gateway to the seventh Stoic law, amor fati, the love of your fate. It is a command to not merely endure what happens to you, but to embrace it, to love it, to see every event, especially the difficult ones, as necessary parts of the beautiful and rugged story of your life. This is not about passive resignation. It is about an active, fierce agreement with reality. Think of a master blacksmith. He does not curse the fire for being hot or the hammer for striking the metal. He loves them precisely for their harsh qualities because he knows they are the very forces that allow him to shape raw material into a strong, sharp blade. Your setbacks, your rejections, your heartbreaks, they are your fire and your hammer. A man who practices amor fati receives a rejection from a woman and after a moment of honest feeling does not collapse into self-pity. Instead, he asks a different question. What is this freeing me to do? What strength is this forcing me to develop? He understands that a closed door is not a judgment but a redirection. He genuinely comes to see that no as a gift because it clears the path for the right yes to eventually arrive. This mindset transforms your entire energy. You stop carrying the weight of bitterness and start radiating a resilient optimism. While other men are complaining about their bad luck, you are quietly grateful for the training. This projects an irresistible aura. It tells the world that you cannot be broken, that you are a co-creator of your destiny, working in partnership with every twist and turn of fate. A woman senses this profound strength. She sees a man who is not defeated by life but energized by it. He is a fascinating story in progress, and she will naturally want to be a part of that narrative. Amor fati turns every obstacle into fuel, and that inner fire is the most magnetic light there is. That profound acceptance of your fate prepares you for everything, even the things you would rather avoid. The eighth Stoic law, premeditatio malorum, is the disciplined practice of premeditating potential hardships. This is not about pessimistic worrying. It is the mental equivalent of a fire drill. You calmly and deliberately walk through the scenarios you fear most, not to scare yourself, but to disarm them. Imagine you have a date planned. Instead of just fantasizing about it going perfectly, you take a few minutes to seriously consider what could go wrong. What if the conversation is awkward and stalls? What if she seems disinterested? What if she cancels at the last minute? You visualize these events happening, and then, crucially, you visualize yourself handling them with composure and grace. You see yourself smiling warmly if the conversation lulls, asking a simple, curious question to restart it. You feel yourself remaining perfectly calm and self-assured if she seems distant, understanding that her mood is her own and does not define your evening. You mentally reheimble, accepting a last-minute cancellation without a trace of bitterness and immediately making new plans for your now free night. By doing this, you accomplish two powerful things. First, you rob the future of its power to shock you. When a small awkwardness actually happens on the date, it feels familiar. You have already been here in your mind. You do not panic or become needy. You simply execute the calm response you rehearsed. This creates a relaxed, unshakable demeanor that is incredibly attractive. It shows a woman you are truly present, not anxiously attached to a specific script for the evening. Second, and perhaps more importantly, this practice ignites a profound sense of gratitude. By mentally facing the loss of a good thing, you suddenly appreciate its presence with startling clarity. The fact that she showed up, that you are sharing a coffee and a conversation, becomes a gift, not an expectation. This kills neediness at its root. You are not clinging to her for validation because you have already faced, in your mind, the possibility of not having this connection. You can now enjoy the moment for what it is, freely and without desperation. Your enjoyment is no longer contingent on everything going perfectly. This inner preparation makes you a fortress of calm in a world of anxious men, and that is a presence people are naturally drawn to. That inner preparation for hardship gives you a powerful presence in the moment, but there is one final preparation that puts all of them into perspective. The 9th Stoic law, memento mori, is the practice of remembering that you will die. This is not a dark or morbid fixation. For the Stoic, it is the ultimate spark for a life lived with fierce urgency and unshakable authenticity. Let this truth sink in. Your time here is finite. Every single one of these days, these conversations, these opportunities is a limited resource you are spending. When you hold this awareness in your mind, something profound shifts. The trivial worries that used to consume you suddenly lose their power. The fear of what someone might think of you, the anxiety over a minor social blunder, the endless scrolling through pointless drama, all of it is exposed for what it is, a theft of your precious, irreplaceable time. A man who remembers his death stops being a people pleaser. He no longer contorts himself to fit into social circles that do not value him or chases validation from those who are indifferent. He understands that his time and attention are his most valuable currencies, and he spends them wisely on missions that matter and on people who truly light up his soul. This creates an incredibly attractive selectivity. When you give a woman your time, it feels valuable because it is. It is not something you hand out to everyone out of loneliness or desperation. It is a conscious choice, a genuine gift. This practice forces you to live authentically. If you knew this was your last year, would you stay in a job that crushes your spirit? Would you tolerate friendships that drain you? Would you remain silent about your true feelings for someone? The man who contemplates memento mori lives with the answers to these questions built into his daily actions. He has the courage to pursue what he genuinely wants because he is acutely aware that the chance will not last forever. He does not wait for the perfect moment. He understands that now is the only moment he is guaranteed. This projects a vibrant, compelling energy that draws people in. Women sense a man who is fully alive, who is not sleepwalking through his days, but who is actively authoring his life with passion and purpose. Your awareness of the end is what makes your present so intensely magnetic. Your awareness of life's brevity sharpens your focus on what truly matters, and nothing is more vital than the quality of your connections with others. This brings us to the 10th Stoic law, the profound discipline of judging less and understanding more. We are quick to form opinions, to slot people into neat categories of good or bad, right or wrong, based on a single action or a few words. The Stoics saw this rush to judgment as a primary source of our own inner turmoil and our conflict with the world. Every time you label someone, you stop seeing them. You replace the complex, living human being with a simple, fixed story in your mind. Consider a woman you are dating. She seems distant one evening. The immediate, judgmental reaction is to decide she is being cold or that she has lost interest. That story, born entirely in your own mind, then triggers a cascade of negative emotions, insecurity, resentment, perhaps a passive-aggressive text. But what if you replaced that judgment with curiosity? What if you chose to understand instead of condemn? The very same behavior, her quiet mood, could have a dozen different causes. She could be exhausted from a demanding day at work. She could be worried about a family member. She could simply need some quiet time to recharge. When you approach her with a desire to understand, your entire energy shifts. You become a detective of the human heart, not a judge and jury. You might gently ask, "You seem a bit quiet tonight. Is everything okay?" Or you might simply offer the gift of your calm, undemanding presence, allowing her the space to be exactly as she is in that moment without pressure. This practice is the very essence of empathy. It demonstrates that you see her as a full, complete person with her own internal world, her own struggles, and her own bad days, completely separate from you. This is incredibly rare and deeply attractive. It builds trust on a foundation of genuine respect. A man who does this avoids countless unnecessary arguments. He does not take things personally because he understands that most of the time it is not personal. He becomes a safe harbor, a man with whom a woman can be her authentic self without fear of being instantly criticized or misunderstood. This does not mean you become a doormat tolerating clear disrespect. It means you first seek to understand the reality of the situation before you ever consider a response. You trade the cheap power of snap judgments for the true power of profound connection. The next time you feel the urge to label someone, pause. Ask yourself, what is another, more generous story that could explain this behavior? That simple shift from judgment to curiosity will transform not only your relationships but your entire experience of the world. This deep understanding of others is only possible when you stand on solid ground yourself. Your character is the bedrock of everything you are and everything you will attract. The Stoics held that your integrity is not just a nice quality to have, it is your most valuable possession, the one thing that can never be taken from you unless you willingly surrender it. Every other asset, your wealth, your status, your physical strength, can be lost in an instant through misfortune or the passage of time. But a character built on honesty, justice, and principle is a fortress that stands firm long after everything else has faded. This means your word is your bond. When you say you will do something, you do it. When you make a promise, you keep it, not because someone is watching, but because you have to live with the man in the mirror. This consistency builds a reputation of ironclad reliability. People know that what you show them is what they get, that there is no hidden agenda, no discrepancy between your public persona and your private actions. In the context of dating and relationships, this is the ultimate differentiator. A man of principle does not tell a woman what he thinks she wants to hear just to win her favor. He speaks his truth with kindness and clarity, even when it is difficult. He does not play manipulative games, sending mixed signals to keep her guessing and emotionally invested. He is straightforward because his self-worth is not dependent on the outcome of a single interaction. He knows that attracting someone through deception is a hollow victory, building a relationship on a foundation of sand that will inevitably collapse. A woman's intuition is finely tuned to detect this congruence. When she sees a man whose actions align perfectly with his words, a profound sense of trust and safety is established. She feels she can relax, let her guard down, and be authentic because she is with a man who is authentically himself. This is the antithesis of the charming but unreliable man who is exciting for a moment but utterly draining over time. That man creates anxiety, constantly keeping a woman off balance, wondering where she stands. The man of solid character creates peace. He is a harbor of predictability in the best sense of the word, not because he is boring, but because he is consistent in his respect, his kindness, and his integrity. This reliability is not a lack of passion. It is the very thing that allows true passion to flourish without fear. He becomes the man women chase, not for fleeting excitement, but for the profound and rare promise of a love that is built on the unshakable ground of genuine trust. That solid character you have built is your anchor, but it is tested most fiercely when you step into the arena of social interaction. Here, the 12th Stoic law becomes your most practical tool, the deep practice of detachment from outcomes. This is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about shifting your entire focus from what you hope to get from an interaction to the quality of what you are giving in the present moment. Remember the dichotomy of control. Your effort, your energy, your respect, and your genuine curiosity are entirely within your command. The outcome, whether she gives you her number, agrees to see you again, or even enjoys the conversation, is not. Most men get this backwards. They enter a conversation with a single, desperate goal in mind to secure that phone number. This neediness poisons the entire exchange. He is not truly listening to her. He is just waiting for a pause to make his pitch. His anxiety is palpable, his laughter is forced, and his eyes are constantly evaluating his progress towards that goal. He is not a person having a conversation. He is a salesman closing a deal, and people can feel the pressure from a mile away. Now, reframe the entire situation through a Stoic lens. Your only goal is to have a great, authentic conversation. Your entire focus is on being present, asking thoughtful questions, sharing a laugh, and simply enjoying the unique human being in front of you for the next 5 or 10 minutes. You are focused on the giving, not the getting. You are giving your attention, your humor, your authentic self. When you do this, a magical shift occurs. The pressure evaporates, your body language relaxes, your smile becomes genuine because you are no longer performing for a reward. You are simply connecting. This makes the interaction infinitely more enjoyable, not just for her, but for you. You stop seeing her as a target and start appreciating her as a person. And this is the secret. When you are truly engaged and enjoying yourself, you become exponentially more engaging and attractive. The phone number, if it comes, is then a natural byproduct of a positive connection, not the sole objective of a transactional exchange. It becomes an invitation to continue a conversation that was already enjoyable, not a trophy to prove your worth. This internal shift is the death of desperation. You walk away from every interaction a winner because you achieved your only real goal. You acted with authenticity and courage. You controlled what was yours to control. Whether she said yes or no becomes almost irrelevant because your self-esteem was never on the line. You practiced virtue, and that is always a success. This is how you turn social anxiety into social freedom, by realizing that the real prize was never her number, but your own unshakable peace of mind throughout the entire process. That unshakable peace you carry into every interaction is about to meet its ultimate test, the sudden appearance of an obstacle. The 13th Stoic law commands you to see this not as a barrier, but as the very path forward. The obstacle is the way. This mantra transforms every setback from a reason to quit into a reason to advance. Imagine you are finally building a connection with someone, and then she tells you she needs to focus on her career and cannot date right now. The common reaction is to see this as a definitive failure, a personal rejection that crushes your momentum. You might feel defeated, question your own worth, or even become bitter. But the Stoic man sees a different reality entirely. He understands this obstacle is not blocking his path, it is showing him a new one. This rejection is a redirection. It is a test of his character, asking him a simple question: will you fold or will you adapt? By accepting her decision with grace and wishing her well, you demonstrate a strength that is far more impressive than any successful date. You prove that your mission and your self-worth are independent of any single person's choices. You maintain your frame, the unshakable core of who you are, and you continue moving forward on your own path. This perseverance is magnetic. It shows a woman, even one who is stepping away, that you are a man of immense inner resources. She sees someone who cannot be knocked off course by life's inevitable friction. And this energy does not go unnoticed by others. Your ability to take a setback and use it as fuel for your own growth makes you appear unstoppable. While other men are halted by the first sign of difficulty, you are just getting started. You begin to view every no as a necessary step toward the right yes, every challenge as a chance to hone your resilience. This is not about pretending it does not hurt. It is about using that sting as a catalyst. The obstacle becomes the training ground where your attractive character is forged in real time, proving that your greatest setbacks can indeed become your most powerful fuel. That unshakable core you build by turning obstacles into fuel becomes your permanent residence, a fortress no outside force can breach. This is the 14th Stoic law, the cultivation of your inner citadel. Picture a mighty castle on a hill with high, strong walls and a quiet, peaceful courtyard at its center. The storms rage outside, the winds howl, and the rain lashes against the stone, but inside the walls there is calm. This castle is your mind. Your inner citadel is this private fortress of peace and self-worth, a place you build brick by brick through daily practice until it becomes immune to the external weather of praise or criticism. A man who lives within this citadel does not crumble under social pressure. He does not change his opinions to fit in with the crowd. His sense of value is not handed to him by others, so it cannot be taken away by them. When he receives a compliment, he accepts it graciously but does not become inflated because his self-assessment was already solid. When he faces insult or rejection, he considers it thoughtfully but does not collapse because his foundation does not depend on universal approval. This is the source of truly authentic confidence. It is not a loud, performative arrogance that shouts to cover up insecurity. It is a quiet, radiating certainty that needs no announcement. In the presence of a woman, this is profoundly calming and authoritative. She senses a man who is not nervously monitoring her every reaction to see if he is doing well. He is fully present with her, not with the anxious voice in his own head. He is not trying to win, he is simply being, and that being is enough. His value is a settled fact, not a question up for debate. This makes his attention feel like a gift, not a need. He can disagree without being disagreeable because his ego is not tied to winning the argument. He can listen without needing to refute because his identity is secure. While other men are tossed about by every wave of social opinion, desperate for likes and validation, he stands firm. His inner citadel is his home, and from that place of unshakable strength, he can engage the world with genuine warmth and authority because he knows, no matter what happens out there, he always has a peaceful place to return to within himself. That fortress of inner peace is built with a surprising material, a deep and disciplined sense of gratitude. This is the 15th Stoic law, the practice of seeing every single thing in your life, the good and the bad, as either a gift or a vital lesson. This goes far beyond keeping a simple list of things you are thankful for. It is a radical shift in perception, a decision to receive every experience, especially the difficult ones, with a sense of appreciation. A man who masters this does not just say he is grateful for his health. He feels a genuine sense of wonder when he wakes up feeling strong and capable. He does not just acknowledge his friends, he truly savors the laughter and connection they bring. But the real power of this practice is revealed in how he handles adversity. When he faces a setback, a rejection, or a failure, he does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" He asks, "What is this trying to teach me? What strength is this forcing me to cultivate?" He sees the obstacle as his teacher, and he is grateful for the tough lesson. This mindset transforms his entire energy. He stops carrying the weight of entitlement and starts radiating a powerful aura of abundance. He walks through the world as if everything is a bonus because from a Stoic perspective, it truly is. Your very breath is a gift you did nothing to earn. This man is not constantly looking for what is missing. He is profoundly aware of the riches he already possesses. This makes him a joy to be around. His presence is uplifting, not draining. He is not complaining about his problems or comparing his life to others. He is fully engaged in the present, finding value and meaning everywhere he looks. For a woman, this is an irresistible magnet. She is drawn to a man who appreciates the simple beauty of a shared meal, the warmth of a conversation, or the quiet comfort of a walk. He is not trying to extract happiness from her. He is already full, and he is inviting her to share in that abundance. His gratitude makes him confident and secure because his sense of worth is built on an unshakable foundation of appreciation for the life he is actively building, brick by grateful brick, regardless of its current form. Your words are a blueprint, but your actions are the building itself. This is the 16th Stoic law, a command to lead with decisive action, not just impressive talk. The Stoics held that a man's character is revealed not in his speeches, but in his daily conduct, his choices, and his unwavering follow-through. Think of the man who constantly talks about his big plans, the business he will start, the fitness journey he will begin tomorrow. Now picture the man who simply gets up early and goes to the gym, who takes one small, concrete step toward his goal each day without any fanfare. Which man commands more respect? Which man feels more solid, more real? This principle translates directly into how you interact with women. A man who leads with action does not just say he would like to see her again. He follows up with a specific plan. He says, there is a new coffee shop that just opened. I would love to take you there this Thursday evening. Does 7 o'clock work for you? This simple act demonstrates initiative, clarity, and confidence. It removes the burden of guesswork from her, showing that you are capable of making decisions and taking the lead. This is not about being controlling. It is about being competent and considerate. It communicates that you value her time and your own by being direct and organized. This reliability is a cornerstone of trust. When you consistently do what you say you will do, when your actions align perfectly with your words, you build a reputation of ironclad integrity. She learns that she can depend on you, that your promises are not just empty sounds but commitments carved in stone. This is profoundly attractive because it is the foundation of emotional safety. A woman feels she can relax with a man whose yes means yes and whose no means no. This extends far beyond planning dates. A man of action proactively improves his own life. He is not waiting for motivation to strike. He understands that discipline is the engine of progress. He fixes what is broken in his environment. He educates himself. He takes responsibility for his health and his finances. He is a builder, constantly working on his own inner citadel. This self-directed momentum is magnetic. It shows that you are the active author of your life, not a passive spectator waiting for a rescue. You become a source of inspiration, not a project that needs fixing. While other men are talking about the man they wish they were, you are quietly and consistently being that man through your daily actions. This creates a powerful, silent language that speaks volumes about your character, your competence, and your worth. Your life itself becomes your most compelling argument, proving that you are a man who builds his reality one decisive, honorable action at a time. Your ability to act decisively is tested the moment pressure mounts and emotions flare. The 17th Stoic law is to maintain composure under fire, to become a man who remains unshakably calm when everyone else is losing their head. This is not about suppressing your feelings, but about mastering your response to them. Picture a heated disagreement. The natural, untrained reaction is to raise your voice, to interrupt, to let frustration or anger hijack the conversation. You stop listening and start preparing your defense, your only goal to win the argument and prove your point. This emotional reactivity is a sign of weakness, a surrender of your inner peace to an external trigger. The Stoic man does the opposite. He takes a mental step back, creating a small space between the provocation and his reply. In that space, he breathes. He listens, truly listens, to understand the heart of the issue, not just the surface-level words. He allows the other person to express their full frustration without needing to cut them off. This act alone is a superpower. By remaining calm, you de-escalate the entire situation. Your calmness becomes a container that can hold their emotional storm without breaking. In a relationship, this is the difference between a destructive fight and a constructive conversation. A woman sees a man who can handle her strong emotions without crumbling or retaliating. She feels safe to be upset, to be vulnerable, because she knows you will not fly off the handle or become defensive. You become a pillar of stability, a partner who can navigate conflict with wisdom instead of ego. Your thoughtful response, delivered with a steady voice and measured words, carries far more authority than any angry outburst ever could. It demonstrates that your inner citadel is secure, that your self-worth is not so fragile that it needs to be defended with shouting. This emotional mastery makes you a respected leader and a trusted confidant. It signals that here is a man who owns his emotions rather than letting them own him. When you can keep your head while all around you are losing theirs, you reveal a strength of character that is both rare and profoundly magnetic. That unshakable calm under pressure reveals the ultimate source of your personal power, a complete and radical ownership of your life. This is the 18th Stoic law, the command to take full responsibility for everything. The Stoic does not mean you are to blame for every external event that happens to you. Rather, it means you are 100% responsible for your judgments, your reactions, and the meaning you assign to every single circumstance. A man who embodies this principle has made a profound internal shift. He has stopped seeing himself as a character in a story written by others, by fate, or by bad luck, and has instead seized the pen to become the author. When something goes wrong in his life, his first question is never, "Who did this to me?" His first question is, "How did I contribute to this situation, and what is within my power to do about it right now?" If he feels stuck in a career he does not love, he does not blame the economy or a bad boss. He acknowledges his own role in staying too long in a comfortable but unfulfilling position, and he begins taking small, consistent steps to build new skills or explore new paths. In his relationships, this looks like taking ownership of his own emotional triggers. If something she says causes a flare of jealousy or insecurity, he does not accuse her of making him feel that way. He turns inward and asks, "Why does this bother me so deeply? What old wound or insecurity within me is this touching?" By taking responsibility for his own internal world, he stops projecting his baggage onto her and starts doing the real work of healing himself. This mindset is the absolute death of victimhood. It transforms a man from a passive complainer into a proactive problem solver. His energy is no longer drained by blaming others or cursing his circumstances. That same energy is now focused entirely on solutions, on what he can build, change, or improve. This is an incredibly attractive and compelling energy. A woman sees a man who does not make excuses. He does not play the martyr. He meets challenges head-on with a calm, determined resolve. He is a builder, not a blamer. This reliability and resourcefulness signal that he is a true partner, someone who will help solve problems rather than add to them. While other men are draining her energy with their constant complaints about the world being unfair, this man is generating energy through his focused, purposeful action. He becomes a source of strength and stability, a man who understands that his life is his own creation, and he is fiercely, proudly, and quietly at work building it into a masterpiece. That radical ownership of your life places a profound value on your most limited asset, the hours and minutes that make up your days. The 19th Stoic law is to value time above all else, treating it not as an endless resource, but as the single most precious currency you will ever spend. Memento mori is the philosophical spark, but this is the practical application, the daily discipline of investing your time with the same care a master investor places on his capital. A man who understands this stops wasting his life on distractions that offer nothing in return. He does not spend hours scrolling through the curated lives of others or get drawn into pointless online debates. He is fiercely protective of his attention because he knows it is the fuel for his mission, his health, and his personal growth. This creates a powerful and immediate shift in his perceived value. When he chooses to spend his time with a woman, it is not out of loneliness or boredom. It is a conscious, deliberate investment. He is not always available at a moment's notice because his schedule is filled with purpose, with workouts, with reading, with working on his craft. This is not a game, it is a reflection of a life so full that his time must be scheduled and respected. When he does make time for her, that time feels special. It feels earned. She knows she is not just filling a void in his calendar, but that she is being invited into a world that is already rich and compelling. His presence is a gift of his most finite resource, and that makes his attention feel intensely valuable. He does not tolerate relationships that are draining or one-sided, because he respects his own time too much to let it be stolen by drama or indifference. This self-respect is magnetic. It communicates a high standard without a single word being spoken. While other men are desperately trying to fill their empty schedules, this man's life is a garden he is actively tending, and he only invites in those who appreciate the beauty he has worked so hard to cultivate. Your time is the one thing you can never get back, and a man who spends it wisely on what truly matters becomes a man worth chasing. A man who values his time so fiercely understands that his attention is his most valuable currency, but what does he choose to spend it on? The 20th Stoic law provides the answer: simplify your desires. The Stoics believed that the surest path to freedom and tranquility was to systematically reduce the number of things you believe you need to be happy. This is not about living in poverty or denying yourself pleasure. It is about making a crucial distinction, the line between what you genuinely need for a good life and what you have been conditioned to want. A man enslaved by his desires is always restless, always seeking the next hit of external validation, the next purchase, the next thrill. His happiness is perpetually just out of reach, dependent on the next achievement, the next conquest. This creates a palpable energy of neediness and dissatisfaction. He is a leaky bucket, constantly demanding to be filled from the outside. Now, picture the man who has simplified his desires. He finds profound contentment in the basics: a good book, a challenging workout, a meaningful conversation, a walk in nature. He is not impressed by flashy status symbols because his self-worth is not for sale. He does not need a constant stream of entertainment because his own mind is a fascinating place to be. This creates an aura of grounded self-sufficiency that is both calming and deeply intriguing. He is not easily impressed, which makes him seem more substantial. When you are not chasing the next thing, you become fully present in the here and now. You listen more deeply, you observe more keenly. You are not mentally composing your next text or scanning the room for a better option. This presence is magnetic. It makes the person you are with feel like the only person in the world. For a woman, a man like this is a mystery worth solving. He does not loudly advertise his value with his possessions or his stories. His value is quiet and self-evident in his calm demeanor and his focused attention. He is not trying to buy affection or earn it through extravagant gestures. His affection is given freely from a place of abundance, not as a transaction. This simplicity of desire kills neediness at its root. You are no longer looking for someone to fill a void because you have systematically eliminated the voids within yourself. You become a source of stability and depth in a shallow, noisy world, and that is an irresistible beacon for those seeking something real. This man you are becoming, forged by these 20 laws, now radiates a final magnetic quality. He is a source of peace in a world addicted to drama. Think of the last time you were in a room buzzing with gossip or petty conflict. The energy is tense, draining, and ultimately pointless. The Stoic man does not feed that energy. He listens to gossip but does not contribute to it. He might even gently redirect the conversation towards something more constructive, or simply choose to remain silent. He understands that speaking ill of others is a poison that harms the one who drinks it first. When conflict arises, his instinct is not to win but to understand. He de-escalates. He refuses to take the bait of petty provocations because his inner peace is too valuable to be traded for a momentary victory in a foolish argument. His emotional mastery means he does not bring the storm of his own bad mood into a room and expect everyone to weather it. He manages his own emotional weather internally within the walls of his inner citadel. This makes him a harbor. In his presence, people feel they can finally lower their defenses. They feel calmer simply by being near him. For a woman, this quality is not just attractive, it is a profound relief. In a sea of men who create chaos with their insecurity, jealousy, and need for attention, he stands out as an oasis of calm. He is the man she can trust with her vulnerabilities because she knows he will not amplify them with his own drama. He is the partner who, after a long and stressful day, she actually looks forward to seeing because his presence alone feels like coming home to a quiet, steady fire. This is not about being passive. It is about being so strong, so secure in yourself that you no longer need to create noise to feel alive. Your tranquility becomes your most compelling signature, a silent promise of stability in a chaotic world. That profound peace you radiate is not an accident, but the result of a quiet ritual performed in the shadows. The 22nd Stoic Law is the practice of continuous self-examination, a nightly audit of your own soul. Before sleep claims you, the Stoic man sits for just a few minutes and revisits his day. He asks himself 3 simple but piercing questions. Where did I act against my character today? What could I have done better? Did I live in accordance with my virtues? This is not about self-flagellation or dwelling on mistakes. It is a calm, clinical review, like a master craftsman inspecting his day's work, noting where his hand was unsteady so he can correct his grip tomorrow. A man who does this is in a constant, deliberate state of evolution. He is never stagnant. He is not the same man he was last month or even last week. He is actively chiseling away at his own flaws, smoothing his rough edges through daily, honest reflection. This commitment to growth is a lifelong project, and there is something inherently magnetic about watching a person actively become a better version of themselves. It is inspiring to witness. Imagine a woman seeing this quality in a man. She observes that he does not get defensive when she offers a gentle critique. Instead, he considers it thoughtfully because he is already in the habit of critiquing himself. He is not brittle or proud. He is malleable, capable of change and adaptation. He acknowledges his mistakes freely and works to correct them, not for show, but because his own integrity demands it. This creates a relationship that is always moving forward, always deepening, because he is not a finished, static product, but a fascinating work in progress. His self-awareness makes him a better partner, a better listener, and a more thoughtful man. While others are asleep to their own faults, repeating the same patterns year after year, he is awake, refining his character each night so he can meet the next day with a little more wisdom, a little more patience, and a little more strength. This quiet dedication to his own betterment is the ultimate promise of a man who is truly worth chasing. Your nightly self-examination transforms every past mistake into a teacher. This learning mindset is the heart of the 23rd Stoic Law, the command to see the entire world as your classroom. Every single interaction you have, every success and every failure, is not a final judgment on your worth, but a single lesson in a lifelong curriculum. A man who embodies this does not see a rejected approach as a humiliation. He sees it as field research. He walks away not with a bruised ego, but with a new piece of data. Perhaps his timing was off, or his energy was too intense, or maybe it was simply not a match, and that in itself is valuable information. He files the experience away, learns from it, and adjusts his approach for next time, all without a trace of bitterness. This makes him endlessly adaptable. He is not rigidly attached to one script or one strategy. He is fluid, observant, and always refining his understanding of human connection. This adaptability is magnetic. He remains humble because he knows he is not a finished product but a perpetual student of life. He does not pretend to have all the answers, which makes him genuinely curious about others. His conversations are not performances, they are explorations. He is gathering stories, insights, and perspectives, and this makes him a fascinating and deeply engaging person to be around. A woman senses that with him, the conversation will never grow stale because his mind is always active, always learning. While other men are repeating the same patterns and getting the same disappointing results, this man is on an ever-evolving journey of discovery. His life becomes a collection of rich experiences and hard-won wisdom, not a series of trophies or failures. He is the author of his own education, and that makes his story one you cannot help but want to read. This relentless focus on self-improvement finds its ultimate expression in how you engage with the world. Your final duty is not just to be better, but to be useful. The Stoics taught that we are social creatures designed for cooperation and contribution to the common good. A man who lives by this principle shifts his focus from what he can take to what he can give. He looks for opportunities to be helpful, to add value to his community, to lend his strength where it is needed. This is not about grand, heroic gestures, but about the small, consistent acts of service that define your character. Holding a door, offering genuine encouragement to a friend, volunteering your skills for a local cause, or simply listening when someone needs to be heard. Each act is a brick in the foundation of a life lived with purpose. This mindset springs from a profound sense of abundance. You operate from the unshakable belief that you have something valuable to offer, that your time and energy are gifts to be spent in the service of others. This is the absolute opposite of neediness. A needy man is always taking, always looking for what he can get from an interaction to fill his own emptiness. A useful man is always giving, sharing the overflow of his own full life. This projects a form of leadership and strength that is deeply compelling. It is the quiet authority of a man who builds things up rather than tears them down. Women are instinctively drawn to this energy because it signals a true provider, not just of material things, but of stability, support, and positive influence. It shows that you are anchored in something larger than your own ego, that your strength is directed toward creation and care. In a world filled with takers, the man who is a giver stands out as a rare and powerful force, the kind of man who naturally earns respect and admiration simply by being of service. This final law is not an addition, but the foundation that holds all the others in place. Integrity is the silent thread weaving through every principle we have explored, from mastering your perceptions to embracing your obstacles. It is the unwavering commitment to align your private thoughts, your spoken words, and your public actions into a single, coherent whole. A man of integrity does not act virtuously for applause or strategic advantage. He does it because his own self-respect is the highest court, and he must be able to meet his own gaze in the mirror each night without flinching. This means telling the truth when a lie would be easier. It means keeping a promise made to yourself, like that early morning workout, with the same seriousness as a promise made to someone else. It means your behavior does not change based on who is watching. When you achieve this congruence, something profound happens internally. You build a deep, unshakable trust in yourself. You know with absolute certainty that you are a man of your word, that you can rely on yourself to do the right thing even when it is difficult. This self-trust is the ultimate source of true confidence. It is not a performance for others, but a quiet, solid knowledge of your own reliability. This is the core of a magnetism that never fades. A woman, or anyone for that matter, intuitively senses this alignment. She sees a man whose yes means yes and whose no means no. There are no hidden agendas, no mixed signals, no discrepancy between the man he presents to the world and the man he is when completely alone. This creates a profound sense of safety and trust. She knows that his affection is genuine, his respect is earned, and his character is not a facade that will crumble under pressure. This integrity makes you predictable in the most attractive way possible, not boring but reliably honorable. While others chase temporary validation through cleverness or charm, you build a reputation of ironclad consistency. People are drawn to you because they know what they are getting is real. Your word becomes your bond, and your presence becomes a refuge of authenticity in a world full of performance. This is the culmination of the Stoic path. A man who needs no external validation because his own self-respect provides a confidence that is both unshakable and irresistibly attractive. These 25 laws are not a checklist for manipulation, but a blueprint for building a character that cannot be ignored. When you integrate these principles, you stop trying to attract others and start becoming inherently attractive. The magnetic pull you develop is not a trick. It is the natural gravitational force of a man who has mastered his inner world, who lives with purpose, and who carries an unshakable peace. This transformation shifts your entire focus from chasing validation to embodying virtue. The result is that you no longer attract people based on a performance. You connect with high-quality individuals who resonate with the depth, stability, and integrity you now radiate. Your life becomes a filter, naturally drawing in those who value what you have built. The goal was never to learn how to get a woman. The goal was to become the kind of man a remarkable woman would enthusiastically choose to share her journey with. This is the ultimate shift from neediness to wholeness. Your mission now is to move from understanding to action. Do not feel you must master all 25 laws at once. That path leads to overwhelm. Instead, choose just one. Pick the single law that resonated most deeply with you today. Perhaps it is mastering your perceptions, or practicing voluntary discomfort, or leading with decisive action. Whatever it is, make a commitment to yourself to practice that one law with total focus for the next 7 days. Let that be your starting point, the first brick you lay in your own inner citadel. I want you to share your choice in the comments below. Tell me which law you are committing to and what your biggest realization was from this journey. Let us build a community of men dedicated not to games, but to genuine growth and self-mastery. The path to becoming the man women chase begins with a single, deliberate step. Take that step today.